The history of the presidency of Kenya is like most nations, except the number of presidents is relatively smaller than most, but not as small as the Cameroonian presidency, which can be seen at the top right of this video. However, all presidents in Kenya have contributed greatly to the development of the nation, and that is what we'll look at today on Africa Assemble. By the way, be a friend and subscribe. Click the notification button to get alerts and like the video to help us make more videos you love about our amazing continent. Let's dive in. Like other nations, Kenya was part of the British colony, headed by the Queen but overlooked by a minister until its independence in 1964. The very first president was Jomo Kenyatta. Is that not great when your name matches the country? Jomo Kenyatta was very influential in the development of the country. He was a nationalist, but he had to play nice with all the different tribes in Kenya and the white and Asian people. He did this by appointing people from certain tribes to positions of power and leaving some white people in certain judiciary positions. He promoted integration of all races in schools and promoted local heritage. However, with the act of development also came corruption. Jomo Kenyatta sometimes abused his position to own land, casinos, and hotels, things that were not covered while he was in office. He aimed to free primary education and universal healthcare, with the latter the concept he almost succeeded at. The catch-22, however, was that with a great healthcare system and life expectancy improving, the service sector suddenly was put under pressure. Moreover, as time went on, Kenyatta was aiming to turn Kenya into a one-party state. His reasoning was to bolster Kenyan unity. However, this did not turn out well as he developed opposition and eventually began jailing people he saw as a threat, opening fire on citizens and making people swear their loyalty to him. As years went on, Kenyatta's health became a problem. He suffered multiple strokes and would eventually not be seen much in public without a tight-knit group of politicians. He would eventually die in 1978 while in office after ruling the country for 13 years. He is considered the father of Kenya and is respected by those who remember him in power. After Kenyatta's death, Arap Moi, who was vice president, stepped up to the mantle of presidency. No one contested against him, so he was sworn in pretty easily. He aimed to follow in Kenyatta's footsteps. However, he was more approachable as he would go out and meet people, as opposed to Kenyatta. He squashed some military coup attempts along the way. The man is so cunning. He eventually allowed multiple parties to vie for presidency, but turned them against each other to win multiple terms in office. Though most elections were violent, corruption and being viewed as a dictator further diminished the likability of Moi as president. He eventually was barred from running again in 2002 and moved on to retirement. He passed away in February 2020 at the serious age of 95. He was president for 24 years. When Moi backed Jomo Kenyatta's son, Uhuru Kenyatta, to be the next president, a group of politicians took this personally and formed a party to prevent Uhuru from claiming presidency. Though injured in an accident, Mwai Kibaki, the nominated opposition party leader, won the 2002 elections by a landslide, defeating Uhuru Kenyatta. Kibaki was not very hands-on as a president and seemed more like a ponderer that delegated tasks to others. He dealt with health issues himself, however was able to do some things right. He made primary education public and controversially tried to modify the constitution in 2005. However, he lost and as a result fired his whole cabinet. This was viewed as good and bad depending on who you were. His second term win was contested, as is the case of all African elections. It became bloody and was eventually ended by the UN stepping in. Eventually, Kibaki would hand over power to the son of the first president, Uhuru Kenyatta, after improving the country's economy by increasing its taxes, having more trading partners other than Western countries, and looking to make money locally. Uhuru Kenyatta finally became president after years in the political game and losing to Kibaki 10 years prior. He got to work immediately by creating free maternal care and endorsing the Kenya 2030 vision, created during Kibaki's rule. However, money has been the headache of Kenyatta's presidency, to the point that he took a wage cut. He seems to pay more attention to friendships with other African nations as Western nations disapprove of his presidency, thinking he had a hand in the 2007 to 2008 bloodshed. He is currently in his second and final term as a president. So in total, there have been 5 presidents since 1965, with one president reigning for 2 decades, while 2 of the presidents are direct relatives. Definitely, this is a very condensed version of the history of the Kenyan presidency. We hope you learned something new by watching this video, as it shows what power can do to people, which is prevalent in Africa. If you'd like to be informed when we roll out new videos, give us a like to help us with the YouTube algorithm, share this with a friend, and drop a comment if you disagree or would like to request a new video. Till then, brothers and sisters, have a nice day.